Good morning. It is Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. I'm back here for Daily Shake-Up number 533. Today, I want to talk about perspective and perspectives. We've heard it say before that perception is reality. Now, many of us resist that and say, well, no, there's certain things that are just true. But I am here to tell you that when it comes to people, and our human interactions and communication, and therefore management and certainly leadership, perception is reality. How someone perceives something is true to them until their perception changes. But too often our conversations about trying to get to facts without really understanding their perception or where that perception came from, and therefore choosing or failing to understand them. And we fail in our words because too often our conversations are around opposing kinds of language that puts up walls between us in terms of communication and trust and relationships. Words like opinion and side and version. And words do matter. And I'm suggesting here that we eliminate those words. We stop saying, hey, let me tell you my opinion, or let me tell you my version, or asking a question such as, well, hey, Jeff, why don't you give me your version of events, or give me your opinion on this, or let me know what's your side of this. When we create sides, we have sides. And so instead of that, and we can replace all of those words with perspective and have what I call perspective conversations. So imagine this shift. You're a manager, leader, whatever your role is, and there's some disconnect within your team and the relationship, some disagreement, perhaps around what had happened or didn't happen. And so you sit down with one person, or you sit down with them together, and instead of saying to someone, well, tell me your side of this or your version of this, instead we say, hey, Jeff, can you give me your perspective on this? Then you turn to the other person and say, Jane, I'd like to hear your perspective on this. See the difference? Because number one, we're saying it's not right or wrong, true or false. I really want to hear your perspective because your perspective matters. And that means that you matter, right? You matter. And by the way, me as the manager or leader might have a third different perspective of it. And if your manager or leader is not there yet, they're not engaging in these perspective conversations, you can bring it up yourself. Let's say that your manager comes to you, whoever your leader is, they come to you and they tell you what you interpret as a conclusion or a version. They may even call it that. So they may use these words we want to get rid of: side, opinion, version. And they tell you this. And when they're done, instead of offering your version, your side, your opinion, you say these words. And this is one of those, as I've said before, critical scripts that can really transform our experience, our communication, and our leadership. So you've heard this version, and you say to, let's say I'm talking to Don. Don, I appreciate your perspective on this. I appreciate your perspective on this. Are you open to hearing my perspective? Now, there's so much power in this. I appreciate that, hearing your perspective. No other words, not version, not side, not opinion, right? And then I say, are you open? Critical question, because this is about extending an open hand. Hey, I'm open. I'm extending an open hand, not a closed fist. Are you open? And hopefully most people will get there, or can get there, to say, yes, I'm open to hearing your perspective. And now the conversation is about differing perspectives, not different sides, not different versions, not different opinions. All of those are somewhere in there, but those are the judgmental terms. And if we want to open up our conversation and open up our relationships, we need to find an opening perspective. And the word is perspective. That's it for today. Keep taking care of yourself and everyone around you. And by all means, stay connected.